Directors of statutory bodies ready to serve in the best interest of the public. We'll have details to this story and more in the National Report.
Mozo, where you there? The trouble is wrong, guy.
The Carriacou Carnival Company presents Fantastic Friday, February 17th from 9 p.m. as 11 Suka stores comes up against the defending monarch, Mozo. Fantastic Friday. Killer Bees, Silver Bullet, Shonda, Black Blingers, Flavor, DZX, Super, Flying Flint, Tonic X, Casey and Kayak Prince, Hopalende, KJ and Mirage, with Young 20 on standby. Tickets cost $40 or you pay more at the door. Hillsborough Recreation Ground is the venue for Fantastic Friday. Ticket outlets, Alexis Food Stores, Addis Dream Supermarket, Malik Shopping Windward, and Terrence Logan, P.T. Martinic. Friday, February 17th. Fantastic Friday. Bacchanal City. Going wrong.
She was a real man, but she only taking money call.
Welcome back. With the details to the news for Friday, February 17, 2023, I am Sherry and Noel. 25 directors of local statutory bodies are now better equipped to serve on various boards following participation in a training course by the Directors Education and Accreditation Program DEEP. Training for the first cohort of 25 directors concluded at the Koyaba Beach Resort on Thursday. Trevor E. Blake, Managing Director of the Eastern Caribbean Securities Exchange, ECSE, who spearheaded the training, says the interactive participation of the directors is a clear indication that they are ready to serve in the best interests of the people.
The feedback from the facilitators have been excellent. They have indicated what a good group you are. I think there are very good things that will come out of this week, and I could only anticipate where this will end. We have come to the end of the 3 days. I have the results for the first 2 days, and I'm happy to say that you're all on track to be to be accredited.
Advisor to the Prime Minister, Richard Duncan, was one of the initiators of the training program. He applauded the directors for taking the time to learn best practices in their roles on the various boards.
The whole idea is that we want to create a critical mass of people who are trained for the job that we are asking them to do as directors. I think you all now would realize that directorship is not just sitting on a board and beating your chest. It is an awesome responsibility that requires great skill and care, and obviously there are legal and other implications in being a director. So I hope that those points came through. Very importantly, governance is about rules and boundaries. I think we got that.
The second cohort of training for directors of statutory bodies in Grenada is scheduled for May 8 to 10, 2023. The Grenada Ports Authority will launch its safety initiative to minimize the possibility of accidents and dangerous occurrences on the operational grounds of the ports. Activities will begin on February 19th and conclude on March 3rd. This is all part of ensuring that Grenada is on par with international safety standards. The initiative, color coding, will be rolled out in phases from March 3rd and will require stakeholders and visitors at the port's operational sites to wear color-coded personal protective equipment. Port Manager Ian Evans outlined the initiative during a press briefing on Friday.
What we're starting with is the personal protective equipment for the regular users, which will be your safety shoes, your safety vests, high visibility vests, and the likes. What we're starting is a phased program. So the first phase, we're going to be dealing with the regular users of the port, the brokers, the agents, etc. And what we have is a color-coded system where the different categories of workers and visitors will have different color vests to designate who they are. And that way, at a distance, you will know who they are and if they should be in a certain area. The second phase we will have is we will then be looking at similar safety vests for the users who are not regulars on the port. So persons that may come once in a while to clear a barrel, for instance. That will be the second phase of the program. And in the final phase, we're looking at parking on the compound, that people park in areas that are safe.
He said the initiative will also be implemented at other port facilities.
The idea really is to try and develop a safety culture within the Port Authority and the terminals it operates. So it's something that we're going to see in the ports. We're going to see depending on the type of risk, is the type of thing that you would carry into the different ports. As Mr. Redder has indicated, the safety equipment depends on the area you're in and the type of risk that you potentially face. So the bus terminus, which comes under the Port Authority, will not necessarily need a hard hat, but certainly you would have things like safety vests and so high visibility. But every area that comes under the Port Authority, we are looking at how we can improve safety in general. So it will be St. George's Port, all of the outports.
Frank Redhead, General Manager of the Ports Authority, said the ports is not responsible for procuring the personal protective equipment for stakeholders, but arrangement is made for non-frequent visitors.
We are not buying or procuring the equipment. It's the obligation of the port users to procure their own equipment. What we are moving to do is fix things that are broken, such as roads, potholes, and so forth, so we make the environment safer with respect to how we can all operate safely within that space.
So those who will be coming in the port will be the ones responsible for buying
with the exception of the infrequent user, as mentioned by Mr. Evans, and these are the persons who clear barrels and so forth. We will procure a suitable PPE, and we will give you that PPE when you comes into the port environment with the intention that you hand it back when you leave the environment.
Redhead is asking for full compliance from stakeholders and visitors.
There are some minimum standards that we are asking everyone to adhere to, and the minimum standard is a high-vis vest. Based on the nature of what you do, it could range up to having a hard hat, certainly if an overhead risk exists, or if you're working on the pier side where there's an enhanced risk of something falling on your head or so forth, then you're expected to have a higher level of PPEs with respect to how you operate. And again, we are appealing to the persons who frequent the port, certainly for their own sustenance, or if you are even an infrequent visitor to the port. We're not trying to make your life difficult. What we are trying to do is make or improve safety within the port environment.
The color scheme is as follows: agents and brokers, neon green and black; agriculture, Bureau Standard, forest green; drivers, porters, assistants, neon orange and navy blue; Ministry of Health, red; visitors, purple. This is the National Report. The news will continue after the break.
Have you noticed an increase or decrease in your electricity bill? You know that changes in the fuel and non-fuel rates affect your bill. You should also be aware that changes in household activities affect your bill. Ask yourself these questions. Have the rates changed? Have there been more people at your home? Have your children been on holiday? Have you used your fan or air conditioning unit more often to beat the heat? Are any of your electrical appliances or equipment faulty? Have you added any new appliances such as transformers, water heaters, or pumps? Make it a habit to understand any changes on your electricity bill. For more factors that affect your bill, visit www.grenlec.com. Grenlec, energizing our Grenada.
Welcome back. Participants of the 3-day Directors Educational and Accreditation Program say the training surpassed their expectations and puts them in a better position to execute their duties as directors. Tessa Sincere, who will serve on the board of the National Water and Sewage Authority, NAWASA, told the GIS that empowerment is the word that encapsulates the entire 3 days of training.
It was such an eye-opener. I mean, there are things that, we would have known already as directors, having not been trained or so, but these 3 days, the first day being on governance and letting us know exactly what our roles are as directors. And then on the second day, we did the financial aspect. I must confess that day was most instructive for me. And then today on risk management. So I think it was an excellent opportunity for us to garner the skills that we need to be effective directors on the various boards on which we serve.
Jason Phillip and Adam DeCall are directors on the Financial Complex Limited Board. They both explained that they went into the sessions with high expectations, which were all met.
I think it's a fantastic initiative. I think it's a great idea that all directors of the boards have the training to give the best value that they can for the boards that they serve on. As a new board member myself, it gives me a lot of confidence to do a better job. And also, now with the training, I could be held accountable, or we all could be held accountable for how well we serve on our boards.
The process is one that is very dynamic. Most of the content we know, but it's the way it is structured and how it is put together so that you can understand the processes that you go through to be a great director. I do believe that this is something that will augur well for us when it comes to our governorship and policy direction in terms of each of the various boards that we serve. However, it is something that it is now imparted into us how serious our roles as director is. And we now need to focus heavily on how do we transform the areas that we are given responsibility, and vested in that in that need to have government's business done well, we now have to forge forward and make the best decisions with limited interference from other entities on the outside.
For Commissioner at the National Telecommunications Regulatory Commission, Alice Bain, despite having experiences on boards in the past, this initiative is a welcome one.
For me, is to learn the best practices related to governance and oversight of an organization. It's helpful because it's making me a more effective director. I've never had any training in directorship. I just do what I think is right. So going through this 3-day training, I think it would help me not just be more efficient, but to influence change in Telecommunications Regulatory Commission.
The directors were trained in governance procedures and risk management, among others. And finally, in the news, it was a display of all things breadfruit at the first ever Breadfruit Fest held at the Victoria Hard Court in St. Mark. Several local vendors and agro-processors from the constituency participated by creating unique dishes with breadfruit as the main ingredient. The event was organized by the Sunset City Development Organization as a post-independence activity. GIS spoke with some of the vendors at the event who were thrilled to be part of the Breadfruit Festival and hope it will become a permanent fixture on the constituency's event calendar.
So what I have here today, I did some breadfruit cups filled with a breadfruit salsa. I also have a breadfruit cake with just some regular frosting. I did some breadfruit tacos. I did a little bit of breadfruit scones. And this over here, right here, would be the breadfruit salsa. I think it's really good, especially for the younger children. You know, we have to do foods in different ways that they would be attractive to them so that they would want to eat it instead of just one way. So I think this is a really good idea.
Today we have breadfruit salad, we have breadfruit balls, we have roast breadfruit, we have fried breadfruit, we have saltfish, we have green salad. So you could get a little bit of everything here at Sammy's table today. But I think it's a very, very good gesture and we should do it a little bit more often. Really, really good, yeah? We was really excited and looking forward to the festival today.
I wish today is a good idea with these things, and I hope not today will be the last. Sometimes maybe coming up around St. Mark's Day, the festival, we could organize that again and show something else.
Parliamentary Representative for St. Mark, Honorable Clarice Modest-Cohen, was instrumental in organizing the event, which she said will be ongoing.
We got great support from GTA, a few of the persons in the tourism sector. You see Mandu there and others. And I thought if we could do something that would engage both locals and visitors to our shore. So this is really a pilot. And already I learned to make breadfruit cake. So we supposed to have some recipes somewhere. We also have some demos, and we plan to do some more with even what you guys would have seen that would help us market breadfruit. And we hope that maybe twice a year, 3 times a year, we can do a breadfruit fest.
And with that story, we come to the end of the National Report for Friday, February 17, 2023. On behalf of the entire news and production team, I am Sherry Ann Noel, thanking you for viewing.